All right, so in the last lesson, you walked me through how to read and write via my active workbook. And one of the features in JetOx Web is a system variable because I want to be able to use things across various reports, independent reports, various worksheets, workbooks, things like that. Can I also use that here?
Yeah, and yeah, you mentioned the system variable, very important functionality, and definitely, yeah, we want to work with this also in our code. And let me show you how you retrieve and how you define the variable. So it's actually technically calling a built-in function in JetOx. So again, something you cannot use in the tester. So this is really only available in JetOx. And you need to remember this retrieve underscore variable. This is how you ask for the content of a variable. And you see there are two possible ways to write the variable name. So this is with the quotes, let's say wafu, for example, or with the common way to define a variable in JetOx with the @ symbol. So this is the newer version, this is the old version, so both are valid. I prefer the new version because then reading the code is easier. And define variable is vice versa. So you want to write it to the variable. In this case, you need also to tell the system what. So therefore, this this function here has two parameters. One where to write it, and the other one is what. Let's use our previous sample, the coffee maker. Let's check our current variables in data menu. So we have a variable called var coffee type. We have already cappuccino stored to this variable. So this is system-wide available. And we have the coffee result. So as in our sample before, our code is reading and creating something for us. Perfect. So we cancel this here. So we are using Alt 11 to go back to our code. And we see from our previous lesson, we are reading from the active sheet our coffee type. We don't want to read it anymore from the sheet. So we are going to delete this code line and we are going to replace it with the predefined here. We want to read it from our variable. So we are using retrieve variable from @var coffee type. So this one is storing now into our already existing variable the information what should we brew, and then we are processing our brewing information, and then we not writing it to the cell anymore, so we want to write it to another variable. So we are using this one here. So we go here, and there we are now defining the variable var coffee result with the information from our already processed variable. So just 2 lines of code we changed. We are going to save this here, closing this. We hit our make coffee. So the message box is still working. So cappuccino, you remember? So we have cappuccino as part of our variable. We click OK. We don't get anything here, but we can double check in our variables. Now there it is, right? So we have cappuccino was the coffee type. We read this, and then we wrote our result into the second variable, cappuccino has been brewed. There we are. So this is how you use system variables.